I feel like we give him a lot of passes. I feel like it's unfair because any other superstar in the league don't get as many passes as Steph Curry. Listen, I'm not taking nothing from Steph, man. He's gonna go down as an all-time great. But his finals, the way he performed in the finals, I mean, he got to get some kind of, criticism behind it. Because, I mean, what's this, the fifth finals?
Yeah.
And, he have yet to really show up.
All right, y'all, this is our take. This is Marc, the moderator.
Banks.com, loyalty over money.
Leaf, it's only family.
Avery the process, rest in peace to $500,000.
So, viewers at this time, listeners at this time, you have heard Kendrick Perkins' word on First Take. And going into that, the statement which he made was about Steph Curry and how the media has protected him over the years and how he's coddled with the media. Kendrick Perkins also put out there how no other player receives that kind of treatment outside of Steph Curry. And it took it back to the Golden Boy title. And what I look at is now, when 3 years ago, Lee said it, Steph was compared to arguably the best player in the league. There was comparisons to him and LeBron James. As a point guard, he's been up there as number 2 point guard all times. All these titles and all these comparisons was given to him. Now lately, I've listened to where now he's being called a great shooter, and it stops there. His glory, his Golden Boy title, to me, is starting to crack. And now the media and now players are starting to come out and speak about it. And that goes back to a segment which we had when Iguodala came out and said that he's playing to protect his legacy. Now I'm starting to see things get torn down around Curry. Is it justified?
I think it's normal. I think that's listen. I hate to use the word hate, but I think people look at dudes. It's like what Big said. They prey on your downfall. People wait for the favorite to lose. People root for the underdog. That's what happens. I'm on record. I'll tell you. I think Steph Curry is a great player. Do I think that he's one of the great tests? No, he's not in my top 5. He's not in my top 10. Absolutely not. Is he a great shooter? Of course, I do. But again, I always put it out there. You're talking about a guy who was the face of an organization that went to a championship 5 straight years. Well, 5 straight years. So they gotta find a face they gotta find a face. So they're gonna find the flashiest, they're gonna find the prettiest. Draymond's not gonna be the face. He gets 4 technicals a game. You know what I'm saying? KD potentially could have been the face, but he came a little bit later. Klay Thompson, guess what? He's not necessarily the face because he doesn't have his daughter sitting on his lap at the end of the games. You know what I mean? So that's kind of that's what the NBA created. The NBA needs players like that. The NBA needs the mean players. The NBA needs the Giannis's that doesn't want to play with.
They need a storyline, no matter what.
Yeah, man, that's just how the cookie crumbles. So now that you're seeing it fall around you, so to speak, yeah, everybody's saying, "Dag, we thought Steph would be able to carry a team." Well, the reality is, the dude, this is who he's been. You know what I mean? I still think Steph is a great player, but the fact of the matter is, he's played on a team that has a lot of players around him. Dudes get hot. And he just doesn't play well in the finals for some strange reason. I can't tell you.
It ain't strange. Why is it strange reason?
He doesn't play well because he typically plays well otherwise. How about that?
I'll go to you, Leaf.
What's the question again?
Is it justified? Is it justified to have all of this stuff kind of being questioned right now?
Yeah, it is, because it was always right there. People just chose not to see it. They chose not to mention it. You go back to the finals when they were up 3-1. A big excuse was Draymond missed 1 game. Like, Draymond Green, really? Steph Curry just won a unanimous MVP. He was still on the court.
Right.
People don't bring up that he had more turnovers than assists in the finals. People don't bring up that he was getting killed all finals by Kyrie. We could go to the finals before that. Kyrie had 27 points in the third quarter before he blew out his kneecap. Like, so
in the first game, though.
Yeah. In the first game. That's what I'm saying. In the first half, the third quarter of the first game, people don't bring that stuff up.
Hold on. Let's bring up something else. In that first series, LeBron could have won the MVP.
People was counting. People was saying LeBron should have won the MVP
on a losing team,
but it didn't happen.
No,
fine, it didn't.
But that's how well he played.
All I'm saying it, and when I brought up, even in that first finals, when I brought up, Steph struggled for the first couple games, and he got it when Dellavedova was getting tired. There was no other backup point guard, and then he started to kill after that. See, you can sit here and shake your head, but the proof is in the pudding. Because the next year, when he had to go against both of them, it was a totally different story. He was probably the fourth best player on the court the next year. And then they had to turn around and kill, as I always say, kill two birds with one stone. You get rid of your biggest competition and remove KD, who could have possibly beaten that OKC squad could have beaten Golden State, and then you bring them over because now you just add that last stone to the goddamn Thanos hand, and you knew you wasn't gonna lose after that. Draymond said it. We don't have KD on the court. I know we have to play hard. We could still win, but I know we have to play hard. With KD on the court, there's no worries. I know we're winning.
But now, I just want to point out something. When you just question things about Steph, Banks shakes his head. And it's not only Banks.
Because I'm a hater.
It's many Warrior fans. When you go at Steph, they shake their head. It's not. But and that's why I said it's justified. Because the narrative is you can't question anything about Steph. His greatness is cemented.
I got another one real quick. We could go back to that last game. No one questioned that last shot. That was a horrible ass shot. Other players would have got killed for that.
I'm not gonna say that because you know what? At the end of the day, you've seen Steph shoot those shots. You know what I mean? And I have said, I'm on record by saying I think that a lot of the shots that Golden State and Steph take are crazy. But this is the new generation. This is the NBA. So
that still doesn't mean it ain't a bad shot. I could take it back to the
Dame misses that shot. Are we saying that's a bad shot?
0 for 13.
Dame made that shot
in game-winning shots
in the playoffs.
It was
0 for 8 before that shot. It was 0. And so if he missed that shot, it was 0 for 9.
I don't know what's the name. I don't know the stats with that.
It's 0 for 9.
Well, he still ain't make one. He still ain't make one.
He's still 0 for. But let everyone tell it. The narrative is he's
clutch.
That's the narrative.
Who said that?
Just said that's the narrative.
Again, I'm trying to be fair. When you start saying a dude is clutch, that doesn't mean because he doesn't hit a game-winning shot, he's not clutch. So let's be very clear.
Okay.
You've seen
9 chances?
Huh?
9 chances?
See
that's what I'm talking about. That's the bullshit.
Hold on.
The moment you go there, it's like, well, come on, stop searching.
I got a question.
Why not just say, he's not clutch? What's wrong with saying that?
Because I disagree with you.
I got a question.
I disagree with you.
Let me hear Bank's question.
I disagree with that.
In Game 5, the shot to put them up, wasn't that?
That's not a game winner. It put them up, but it wasn't a game winner.
That's clutch, though.
That's not.
Now, how's that not a game winner? That's the shot that put them up in the game.
No.
The buzzer has to go off in order for it to be clutch.
No, Clay hit that
before.
And Clay hit 2. Clay hit 2.
Clay hit the go-ahead shot.
They scored 9. Clay hit the first one. Steph hit the second, and then Clay hit the last one.
Last-minute shot doesn't mean you're not clutch.
I agree. Now, here I say clutch.
No. I disagree because the narrative is as great as a shooter you are. That these are the attempts that has been given to you that you haven't come on through with.
I'll throw LeBron in there. Dudes used to say LeBron wasn't clutch because he ain't hit a game winning shot.
They said he ain't have heart because he passed the ball.
I always refuted that. I always refuted that.
But you're going back to you again.
My point is, this is about our take. I'm giving you my take.
Can I say something? Can I say something I always say that always get ignored?
What's that?
And when the going gets tough for Golden State, who's the one that gets rolling?
Clay, all day.
All the time.
All day. I agree.
No one mentions it though.
And I'll say this.
No one mentions it.
Why is it not mentioned?
Listen.
Because Steph is on his team and Steph is going to get the credit.
Steph is uber careless with the ball. We've always had that.
But we don't talk about that until now. 4 years ago, we wasn't talking about.
Don't say we.
You know why?
Sorry,
but here's why.
Let's do friends.
This is easy, y'all.
Let's not be friends.
This is not rocket science. Because winning masks
54
everything.
seconds left.
That's not
Winning
true.
masks
That's
everything.
not true.
Hold on. My bad. Go ahead, Banks. Go ahead.
See, my problem and why I'm shaking my head, especially with what Leaf is saying, is there's always an excuse for when it comes to Steph. In terms of something that he did. Steph is getting double teamed. Oh, you double team the guy that's killed us with the ball. What was the other point you just made? I can't remember the last point you just made about something that he did.
Oh, what?
It's always like if there's something that he does is great, there's a reason behind why what he did isn't great. That's my problem with what you were saying. That's what I was shaking my head over.
Hold on. When I mentioned them double teaming him and going boxing one, what was the other thing I said to you, which never gets brought up? His basketball IQ was low because he should have got mad assists. There was 2 people open all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's not brought up.
I agree with that.
That's the part I'm talking
Because
about.
winning cures everything.
Winning cures.
He lost.
Winning,
if they would have won this series,
They
don't we talk about how
lost.
bad stuff.
I got one, Mark.
Can I say?
Hold on, you know what never gets brought up? You know what gets brought up? Klay Thompson is wide open in the corner. Your man throws a behind the back pass to the first row. Never gets talked about.
I agree with that.
Let somebody else would have did that.
So can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Steph
The
is careless with the
original question was: is it justified that his legacy is being torn down?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, it's justified because when you don't win, this is what happens.
And
They're
that's what I'm
going
trying
to
to say.
find flaws in your game. They're going to bring out the thing.
Lee,
and I
you think
agree.
Larry's trash, but they won the chip.
I agree with everything
that's
I
what
agree
I'm
with
trying to
everything
say.
that Avery's saying. Though.
Everybody still thinks
masks
Kyle Lowry.
Yo,
everything.
when you
It
win,
masks
when you win,
everything.
nobody's gonna say anything.
But my thing
because-
is this: even when they was losing, no one was saying nothing about Steph. That's the point. They're just starting to say it.
Lost. Wait. When they lost the second go around against the Cavs, and when they was up 3-1, and every narrative was everything but Steph. It was everything. It was Dre. It was Bogut being hurt. It was
Right, I agree
everything
with
but
that.
Steph. So I
hold
just
on,
want
what
to
is
put that out there.
I just got a question though. But what does that have to do with Steph? And why I asked that is more so he didn't create that narrative. This is the media that.
But
did
that's
it.
the point he's
But what
saying.
I'm
He's being
saying is-
protected. If it was anyone else, they
But
wouldn't
hold
be
on,
protected
and that's
like
not
that.
necessarily true though. Too, they weren't protecting LeBron James like that. People weren't saying, "I don't want to go play with LeBron James," because the narrative is when they win, it's all LeBron James. When we lose, it's the other players around LeBron James. That's not protected. That's not protected.
LeBron got excoriated. For every series that LeBron has played in, the narrative always come out negative against him. The only time,
Just use that word wrong. Just wanted to let you know. Go ahead.
what word?
Don't do that again.
I think that's actually correct.
That's actually correct.
No, go ahead, Mark.
Okay, listen. LeBron James was the most talked about, torn down champion that we've ever seen. Is that wait? Is that facts or fiction?
Is he the most?
Yes,
The most.
yes, but I explained to you why.
No. I get. I just asked what the
I
fact.
agree with that, 100%.
Nowhere, and Leaf has brought this up in the past. Nowhere near has Steph taken the hits that LeBron James has.
Absolutely.
Not until now, though.
Absolutely.
Well, again, I just said
Because
it's now
losing
hold on.
shows the ugly.
Losing
I don't think
shows all
it's
that.
losing. I don't think it's losing. Now because hold on,
Nah, I don't know about that.
That's a false narrative because here's
about that?
here's why. Going into this series, the word was, will Steph finally win a Finals MVP? We need to see him win a Finals MVP before any game was played.
Right.
That was on the table because now it's time that this your 5th time. Not win or lose, you got to show up, and he did. Drop the mic.
He didn't?
He didn't.
You don't think he showed up?
No, he ain't show up. Where did he show? Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
You think Steph showed up?
I mean, look, I don't think that he showed up because he doesn't play well in the finals, but I don't think he had a horrible finals.
No one said he
This is my
had.
opinion.
But did he play up to his standards of the Golden Boy hype?
Again,
I just asked
yes,
the question.
but that is expectations of that were created
But
for
I
him.
just asked if he
so
played up to
what
it.
Banks is trying to say, you can't blame Steph for that.
That's what I'm
Who else you
saying.
gonna
But hold
That's
on.
the
Somebody
best.
else. Hold on.
That's your
Hold
question.
on.
Who else you gonna blame?
I'm trying. You asked him,
media.
and the question is about me. What I'm saying is he didn't create this expectation of a golden boy. What he created it?
Has he fed into it?
How? By being a Christian?
No.
By having a family?
No.
By bringing his daughter to
All of
press
that
conferences?
antics, all of the antics he displays during the game. And Lee
Everybody
called
does
it.
that.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
James Harden does this after every shot.
Lee
Oh,
called it.
now Steph is the only person that talks shit.
Leaf,
At that half court?
No, Leaf called it. He is the most biggest front runner to ever be in the league as I've seen. He's the biggest front runner.
Wow.
And the only time, and I brought it up several times.
LeBron.
I don't need a mic, he can hear me.
LeBron ain't front running.
Yo, I've seen it.
What do you mean by that?
When he's up, he's one. He's one.
I seen LeBron do that plenty of times. Now all of a sudden Steph is the only person that talks trash in the NBA. LeBron ain't front running. LeBron wasn't up 2-0 against Dallas and talking mad shit about Dirk Nowitzki doing mad stuff. Yo, hitting him on his chest. Yeah, we killing. We doing all this. Blah blah blah.
I got a question.
But when they got in trouble, where was LeBron?
Banks, I got a question.
LeBron was timid, passing the ball. Right?
Banks, I got a question for you. Didn't LeBron and Wade get killed for mocking Dirk Nowitzki when they did that?
Yes.
Okay. Does Steph Curry get killed for the antics he put on the court?
Again. My point is this. He did not create that narrative. How are you blaming him for what somebody else is? Yo, are you trying to say that, yo, son, his press conference, son, I should be killed for that. I should be killing that.
That hard though.
That's what I'm saying.
You peep, because other people will get technicals for that.
That just